Hi, Jenny here with Usborne Books and More and Treasures with Usborne, and now I want to show you some of the very popular books for your child who is either preschool or kindergarten age, and these are all kind of educational books as they are learning and exploring the world. So the first one I want to show you is one of our really fun ones, and it's our Muddle and Match series. We just got 2 new ones, so we have 6 total in this series, and it has 3 tabs, and then as you mix and match the pages, it makes a really funny little story. And at the very beginning, as you can see, when you have the colors lined up, there is alliteration. And so the bold basketball player bounces and balances the ball. And then as you change the story, it just ends up being really silly. And so this is really great for your child who wants to laugh, and it's fun for the whole family. One of our really great popular books are our big book of. So we have Big Book of the Body, Big Book of Animals, Big Book of Colors. Pretty much we have tractors. And I can't think of, we have a ton of them, so there are a lot. But this is just to show you they're all kind of similar. So they're all nonfiction. They have a ton of facts about that particular topic. And then each page has several, usually fold-outs. So this one has, as you can see, they're really large. I think they're about 4 feet long. And then they're front and back. And so they just have a ton of information about the body. And so if you have a child who's asking a lot of questions about the body, this is a great one to get. For them, and it's educational and just full of that information. So this is the Big Book of the Body. Like I said, we have a ton of others. And the next one are our Lift the Flap. If you have a child who's asking a lot of questions, which I know most of them do at that age, a Lift the Flaps are great. This one's questions about the world, question answers about the time. And so if they just answer, so when does the beginning of time really matter? And you can lift the flap, and it'll tell you when do people start telling the time. It's just a ton of facts about that particular subject. Why, what, how. So just really informational and really interesting for the whole family. One of our other new series this year is the Beginner series. We have 2 of them. We have Flowers and Baby Animals. And like I said, again, it's nonfiction, so a lot of information. But Usborne has a phenomenal way of making information understandable for little kids. Not dumbing it down, but just making it in a concept that they can really relate to. And so it says different flowers have different kinds of leaves. So it has pictures of all the different types of leaves for your child to visually see it. And then just information about flowers. So this is a really great one if they're learning the question about flowers. They love flowers. Kind of a fun one to go off of. Our very first things to spot. I love these. There's so many things to learn in a spot book, especially as a child who's just learning different things, shapes, colors. And I will show you the pages are really sturdy, so they're really not regular paper. They're pretty sturdy, so they're not very easy to rip, so great for those little fingers. And so you can just see there are just tons of colors, shapes like I said. There's asking questions, who's wearing red boots, find the smallest toadstool. And so just really great to get their little minds thinking and kind of like a giant puzzle. So those are our spot books. We have a few of these. The next series I want to talk to you about is Who's Ready to Play and Who's Next. So Who's Ready to Play is a really fun one. It just asks a few questions, asks 1 question on each page, and your child, you can talk about it with them, and it's kind of a great conversation starter and kind of great for them to observe the different pages and what's going on. So it says who's upside down, you can talk about it, and the next page is who swapped places, so you kind of have to go back and review and see who switched places, so that's kind of a fun one. And then the next one is Who's Next. It kind of the same concept. It talks about first came the elephant with his friend the lovely ladybug. Guess who's next? And you can see the very little tail of the tiger. And it says tiger came next with his friend dog. Who left? And then you have to say who's gone, and you have to kind of talk about it. Guess who came next? And so it's like that on every page. So kind of a fun memory game type book. So it's really fun for that. The last books I'll talk about are our Wipe Clean books. We have a ton of these, and these are so great for your child who is learning letters, numbers, learning to write words, and anything like that. Even if your child is younger than preschool age. I know my daughter is about 19 months old, and she loves to color, but obviously she's not old enough to know what her numbers and letters are. But a little trick is if you get the Crayola Wipe Clean crayons, they work on these, and they are not markers. And so a fantastic way to get them even just looking at the letters and numbers and then not getting marker all over. But just inside the books, you can see there's a glossy page. Any dry erase marker works for them. And then you can just see there are various letters in there that you can have to find throughout the whole book, throughout the pages. And so just really educational and a fun book for them to have during quiet time or whenever time. And they all come with a marker on the front. So really great books. So those are some of our very popular books for preschoolers and kindergartners.